guys, welcome back to Kuma Reviews. What we're taking a look at is the Flame Toys Kuro Kuri Victory Leo. And by the way, if it feels like I'm a little bit stuffy, sound different, I'm not really feeling the best right now. Sorry for bumping the camera. So, I'm trying the best I can here. But, yeah, my apologies in advance. But anyway, off the bat, you'll notice that this is a big boy. In fact, the wing pack is so big that it makes Leo look small, and even it itself is as big or bigger than most of the Flame Toys products so far. So let's go ahead and get some measurements. And this one, I noticed on the box, it's not numbered, even with the wings up a bit, right? So it's got a span of 12 inches right there. Let's go ahead and straighten them out. Then from pillar to post, yeah, now we're over 13 inches. Front to back, when you have the guns on, I'm gonna go ahead and tilt those back a little bit. But you're looking at right around, I'd say, make sure it lines up. Okay, about 13 and a quarter there. So 13 by 13 and a quarter still fits inside of a detolf, but not with much else. In terms of gimmicks, it has one LED gimmick in the head, and I love the way that this switch works. So it's part of its main here. You put it down, and then flip it up. Okay. Now turn off some of these lights, so maybe it stands out a little bit more, but for whatever reason, it's pretty hard to see right now, so I'm going to zoom in. Because they do light up pretty bright. I don't know if the battery's dying on me a little bit. You can definitely see it in the mouth there. Now lower the camera too. But yeah, plenty bright right there, but for some reason the lights in the eyes aren't lighting up as much as they normally do for me. But to turn it off, boom. Down, up, switch on. Down, up, switch off. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Turn them off. We're getting some light back here. Boom, boom. Alright, so to get started, on the box itself, most of them are like 01, 02, 03, 04. I noticed that Victory Leo does not have a number on it. It just says Transformers Victory Leo. No number. And I discussed it with some friends, and one of them brought up what I think is a good theory about it. The fact that this is a armor kit, or like an add-on for Victory Saber, because it combines with them too, or with Star Saber. He's an add-on kit for Star Saber. They combine to form Victory Saber, just like in the cartoon and things like that. But maybe that's why they didn't. And just an FYI, as you can see, there's some expansion there, springs and stuff like that. It's a really neat piece. Like, to be honest with you, if it didn't have some of the flaws that I'm about to discuss, it would probably be my favorite item from Flame Toys so far. Because it's gorgeous in hand, man. Alright, so that's the wings. They go up and down. And you can see right there, these back. Alright, because this is going to be an issue throughout the review, I think. So the back here is split into halves. These become the feet for Victory Saber, but it makes up the back of the piece itself. You can see this hollow area there. There are two pegs that peg in top and bottom, as well as like a friction peg in the upper portion of it, but none of it locks in place. All held by friction, and this is, I believe it's die cast throughout here. It's a big heavy piece too, both halves are, so there's a lot of splitting that happens if you're not actively holding those two back halves together, and it sucks. It's a really unfortunate, I don't even know if I want to call it an oversight, because it's like, how could you play test that and not see it? So I'm just gonna say it's a poor decision. Alright, so for the head, the mouth moves up and down. He's got some side to side movement. He does have up and down. It's got some tilt in there. You got to watch the main. Outside of the switch there, none of these pieces move. Alright, so we went over those. The guns. And these pieces are modular. The guns and the wings do come off. I haven't tried the transformation yet, the combination with Star Saber, but yeah. So these are die-cast joints that they actually turn on. So there are a couple of joints in there. You can flip it up. And yeah, you can see half of his lower body just came apart right there. And I'm not even messing with anything that has to do with that. So getting it back together is a pain. You see that peg, that female end. Unfortunately, this is one of those pieces you just set. Like if you want it to be Victory Leo, this is the pose. Don't jack with it. Just let it set. Wherever you set it, that's where it sets. That's where it's going to be. This isn't a piece you take off and play with at all. It's unfortunate because it's really pretty. Alright. So it comes in pieces in the box. The wings are separated. The guns are separated. The backpack does not come off of them, which is unfortunate because I think it'd be a cool alternate look to see how he looks without it. But I'm going to go ahead and get that back down. Alright, and since I'm touching him in general, I'm going to grab him by his back half here. It sucks that you have to hold him by his back half to work with the front. But there's some inward and outward, like butterflying and stuff like that. Shoulders do have like a fullish rotation. And then it has that knee joint there, as well as some movement in the foot on the front feet. The back, like kind of upwards and downwards, like inwards and outwards butterflying. Side to side. These pieces move like these fins, as well as the guns. These guns are D4 Toy exclusive pieces. Alright, so knee, double jointed knee, and then that tilt and rock on the foot as well. Yeah, so like I said, really unfortunate because it's pretty, man. Like this thing is, it's sick looking. And I think even minus the back, it's constructed pretty well too. I don't mind the lack of articulation. Oh, there is, you can do that. It does have ab crunch. Lots of separation though. In the head, I don't know if that's because of the transformation or what, but it does come off. Off of that neck joint there, but yeah. So when you've got them in these downward, like, pounce type poses here, the backpack actually does come up some. And like it can angle and things like that. Another tight die cast joint, so gotta brace them. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into getting this piece where you want it to be, unfortunately. So once it's there, keep them there. Maybe look at some pictures first, get some pre-planning going, but yeah, so I don't know if I gave you guys a roundabout, but if not, I apologize. But very much so what it is. And honestly, I'd end the review right here pretty quick. But we got to see how he looks next to Star Saber, as well as that combined Victory Saber mode. Okay, and here they are, Flame Tours, Kuro Curry. Sorry. Star Saber and Victory Leo next to each other. I mean, there's not much more to it. They are two figures from the same series who worked in tandem standing next to each other, but they are a pretty display even in their separate modes, and that's probably how I'll display them in their own DTOF, because from what I'm seeing, the combined Victory Saber mode is actually too big for a DTOF, which actually, I've heard some things about it being finicky, so we'll see how that goes. But the size of it, I'm looking forward to seeing it in person. But yeah, there you go. Again, Star Saber, Victory Leo. Okay, and here's the whole shebang. The combined Victory Saber mode, this thing wasn't too bad to get together, to be honest with you. But the articulation is definitely lacking. The arms hardly have movement, front swing, and then the shoulder immediately hits the backpack. You'll see that when I give a rotation here on the turnstile. The guns are movable. I'm not going to mess with them because the die-cast joints that they're attached to, like you saw in the Victory Leo form, they're so tight that it jilts the whole figure. And there are, I will say, it holds together pretty well. Backpack, the only problem that I had is one of these gauntlets here. For whatever reason, it wants to pop off if I blow on it wrong. So I don't know what exactly is going on with that. But outside of that, for the most part, it's a pretty stable figure. It is hard on the hips, very back heavy. Now, there is a back support piece that goes in there. You'll see it once you buy it. I'm not going to explain it because it doesn't matter if you don't own it. But what I did, I'm going to zoom in here to show you guys. This is a little hack that I figured out. See if I can brighten it up some. It's hard to see, but what I actually did was take his stand piece and stick it in his back. There's a hole inside of the back support piece or whatever, but because he leans back, that support piece tends to fall out. If you stick this in, and it's not too obtrusive aesthetically or anything like that, if you stick this in, it will hold this back piece in place because it just holds. That's what it's meant to do. So go ahead and use that even when you're not using the stand, that stand adapter piece, but yeah. Now these, the D4 Toy exclusive parts, there are options here. You could peg them here. You could peg them here on what's now the side skirts, as well as these holes inside of the shoulder. The holes in the shoulder actually look pretty good, but again, they just got in the way with the guns and everything like that. It's a big mamma jamma. Let's go ahead and, because I'm wondering about this for DTOF display too. So, to the head, it looks like it's just under with the antenna, just over 10 inches. I got 10 and a quarter there. Now, the wing height, right here, 14 inches. Let's look at the span, though. So span widest, 15 inches. So this will actually fit inside of a DTOF without, obviously I'm not using a stand or anything like that. Now I'm not going to go too crazy with the articulation. It doesn't lose articulation in the legs or anything like that, but everything's so heavy that just even trying to pose it to get it to stand correctly, I had to use some joint tightener by Kiki to get this thing all up and moving so it's not falling over like I saw it do in some of the reviews. But yeah, I mean, display wise, it even right there you go. But doesn't fall over or anything like that. And all I was trying to do is turn on the lights. But yes, this is what you're dealing with when it comes to this piece. So it's another one. Once you get it in the position that you want it to be in, that's where it just needs to be. This sucks. So you can see why I'm not going too crazy with the poses or anything like that. I would love to. Maybe I'll bust a stand out here in a few and do something, but it's going to be a one and done. Not a 10-minute articulation breakdown or whatever. But yeah, even the additional headpiece for Star Saber, it's really neat. Very Super Robot-esque. And that's what Victory was. And I love that even though it's a very artistic take on it, it really, I think it exudes like the soul of what Victory was. Victory was a super robot show with a Transformer skin. And this design really encompasses that. A lot of people will think like Gal Gaigar and stuff like that. And, you know, yeah. But you could also say X-Kaiser and a million other or mecha anime where there was a lion head on the combined form. You know, it's a trope. And it's not just a Gal Gaigar thing. So when your mind goes there, just know, no. That's just because Gal Gaigar is the only anime you know. But yeah. There we go. Okay, closing this review out here. I just have it on a stand, basic float. It does not need the feet to touch for that to work at all. I just like the way that they look pointed downwards. It gives it that floating appearance, which is pretty cool to me. There's not a lot you can do because the weight of the feet and things like that make the joints go kind of awry in the legs, so you can't really do like that whole leg up thing. Maybe after the joint polish sets a little bit more, there can be more done. Obviously, I'll update that in the written article and gallery and stuff like that if I'm able to do those poses, but for now, cannot. It's a very pretty display piece. It just sucks that you have to sacrifice the individual modes of Victory Leo and Star Saber to do it because they're both really pretty as well. But I dig it, man. Victory Leo, I'm actually surprised with how much I like it. It's fiddly. I'm not gonna lie. Like those gauntlet pieces and things like that, the back half of them coming apart, it sucks. But it's like once you've got it in display, it's a very pretty display. And aesthetically, it's just so fucking good. You know? Now, it's on you to decide whether it's $500. I think Victory Leo was $400, but Star Saber was over 5, so you're spending damn near $1,000 on this thing. Is it worth it to you? And that's what I'd like to hear you guys sound off on in the comments, because I really look forward to hearing you guys' opinions as well. Let me know what you think. Like, please share. I say that all the time, but if you like these reviews, I always get a lot of compliments and stuff like that. The best compliment you can give me is actually showing your friends, because the more people watch and the more I'm motivated to do this stuff. Labor of love. Any reviewer will tell you that. I'm not feeling the best, so I'm actually going to get out of here, go get a COVID test and stuff like that. I'm vaccinated, all that stuff, but just damn, I am just under the weather. Hopefully you guys, though, are well, safe, and having a great start to your new year. Full written review gallery will be on kumastyle.com sooner than later. Don't expect a big gallery because, I mean, it can't do much, whether it's combined form or the individual Victory Leo, but it'll be up on kumastyle.com within the next couple of days. Comment, please, like, share, subscribe. Again, click the bell so you get notifications when new videos come up, and I'll see you next review.